Hello YouTube and welcome to A State of Gaming. I am Cam, your host today, and we're going to be having a look today at Mario Kart Live, a new augmented reality game for the Nintendo Switch. Most people these days are going to be familiar with augmented reality. It's used a lot in a lot of other devices these days, particularly smartphones and things like that. Essentially what it is, it uses a device's camera and gyroscope to record a proper 3D environment while superimposing interactive elements over the top using visual cues that are recognized by the camera itself. So Nintendo has dabbled with this sort of technology for a number of years now. Firstly, originally starting with a game called Face Raiders, which was launch software for the Nintendo 3DS that was built into the console. Essentially what it did, you used a gyroscope and a camera on the device to actually look around your environments. You take a photo of a friend or family member's face, and essentially what would happen is it would be superimposed over a 3D model. You would basically navigate this 3D space using your gyroscope and fire at your friends as they attacked you. So it was pretty good technology. It was surprising it wasn't really taken advantage of in more games of that era. Everyone knows as well that they continued the process to dabble with augmented reality with games such as Pokemon Go. So it's not a new technology. It has been around for well over a decade now. But this is probably the most inventive way of using the technology. So essentially in Mario Kart Live, you have a remote controlled car. You control the remote controlled car using your Nintendo Switch. It's compatible with both versions of the Switch as well, so the actual proper version of the Switch as well as the Switch Lite. You control your kart around, driving it through your house, and it picks up on certain visual cues, namely the gates that come shipped with the device to recognize where it is, and you can basically plot a course and drive around. It has a camera on the card itself which processes what you're doing and shoots that feed through to your Nintendo Switch, and it superimposes your competitors over the top of that image. So you're essentially racing real competitors like you would if you were playing Mario Kart on your screen. It does have a multiplayer option as well. You need to have two carts to do that. There's only two carts so far that you can buy, but I would imagine that they would release more later on down the track. One of the carts is Mario, of course, and the other one is Luigi. The carts are actually affected by what's going on around them as well. So if you get hit with a shell, your cart will come to a stop. If you hit a boost pad or get a boost upgrade, then your cart will actually accelerate faster for that period of time. It's even able to simulate things like the boost drifting that the series is so well known for, even though the card itself doesn't drift. So without further ado, I'm going to stop it here and we're going to have a look at the device and unbox it and look at how it works. I'm going to set up a course and we're going to have a bit of a play around with it, and at the end I'm going to give my verdict about what I actually thought about it. So the box itself is quite large. There's two versions available. There's a Mario version and a Luigi version. Both cost around about $150 Australian to buy. There's no software included in the box. The software itself is about a gig and a half download through the Nintendo eShop, so there's no need to have the game or lend the game out to anyone. It's basically available for anyone to play. So let's see what comes inside the box itself. So when we flip it upside down, it contains some basic instructions here. So the software download, some details about charging the cart and how to do it. When we open it up, we have a little manual. There's not too much to talk about here. It's all in different languages and things like that. It's actually not a very detailed manual as far as manuals go. However, we open it up. We'll flip it up this way so we can have a look here. This bit just folds down, and inside of here is the cart itself. So here he is, there's your Mario Kart. He's pretty nifty. You can see the little camera on the top here. So this is how the augmented reality actually works with the machine itself. So you download the software onto your Nintendo Switch, you sync the Nintendo Switch with the kart itself, you then create a course around your home, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment. Now to charge him, there's a little panel that you pull up here, and you've got your little USB-C charging cable. So the USB port plugs into here, and then you plug it into any sort of USB powered device. So I actually charged this initially for the first time via my Xbox One X. So any sort of USB power supply will do. Inside the box is another little box. This contains all the pieces that you need to lay out your course. So it basically says here, don't rip it open. There's a little QR code on the bottom that I never noticed before. What you actually do is slide the pieces out. So there's 4 gates, and I'll show you here what they look like. So this is gate number 4. And basically what you do is you set up these 4 gates. When you first load up the game, it allows you to drive around to create your course. So you drive through the gates in order, and so you can do figure eights and loop around and do all that sort of stuff, as long as the game kind of recognizes that you drive through the gates in order. So there's only allowed to be 4 gates, which is kind of disappointing. It would have been nice if you could buy, say, the Luigi kart, so that you've got 8 gates, so you can make bigger, longer courses around the home. But the actual, I think the distance from the kart itself is really only supposed to be about 4 or 5 meters anyway, so I don't think you can make overly complicated courses or anything like that. I do have some concerns with the way that they've created the gates out of cardboard. I would much have preferred to see them made out of plastic to be a little bit more durable, and hopefully at some point in time you'll be able to maybe even print out the augmented reality pictures online in case the gates get too damaged to use. Essentially what you're supposed to do is fold this little bit in on itself, and then these bits here fold down, and you put something heavy on top of it. I don't really see that lasting all that long, or being very durable, unfortunately, so I'm kind of a little bit reluctant to do that. Overall, I'd like to try and keep this thing in as good condition as I can. I hope there's some sort of support that Nintendo gives ongoing for additional courses or circuits or peripherals and things like that that'll make this last a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do is actually set up the course itself and show you, take you for a drive around the house, see how it all works. Okay, so we're ready to go. So we've got a course set up, and I'll show you the course in a moment as we drive around it. Once you've synced your card up with your Nintendo Switch, you only need to sync it once. So I'll just press the power button on there, and in a second it will tell me that it has paired. There we go, success. So I'm going to take the cart. Now we've set the cart down on the floor. You get coins as you race, and you can unlock different vehicle parts and stuff like that. Now I can't capture footage directly from the machine itself, it won't allow you to do that. But when you're ready to go, you basically just drive up to the little section on the floor. There goes the cat. What we're going to do is go Grand Prix. Now the different classes are different speeds. So 50cc is actually really slow. When you see the kart itself moving across the floor, it's really slow and lethargic. But in actuality, the camera itself makes it appear like you're going pretty quick. So we're going to choose 50cc, Mushroom Cup. We're going to create a course. And basically all you do is drive around through the gates in order. So you can see here they put some paint on your tyres. And this is how you paint your course. Now it's driving over carpet just fine, as you can see. There's a few little bumps in the carpet as well, which are pretty cool. And there's our course. So the controls are pretty self-explanatory. A is to go forward, B is to reverse, L is to shoot your weapon, and you can actually power slide as well. You get a power boost. I'm stuck, see. Cool thing is when you get hit by enemy attacks, you actually stall, which is pretty cool, just like in real Mario Kart. So the AI, the rubber banding is pretty bad though. So last lap. So I'm in fourth and I'm not really like doing too bad, but for some reason I'm still, losing. But that's it, we just won. The rubber banding in the game though seems to be a little bit too harsh, I think. You can basically just drive around and do whatever you want, but it only recognises the front of the gate, so it knows that I've gone the wrong way. You drive around your own house, it's pretty cool. Let's just see what the range is. I'm going to go down the hallway here. I'm surprised it's still picking up. The turning circle is really good too. Oh, this is pretty cool. I didn't realise the range was going to be so good. Otherwise I would have probably set up a different course. But that's it in a nutshell. It's easy to set up, easy to play. It's good fun. Is it worth $150? That's debatable, considering all you get in the packet is the kart itself, which, although pretty cool, I mean, there's better remote control Mario Kart cars out there that you can buy anyway. So really all you're paying for, $150 for a little plastic cart and a couple of cardboard gates, is a bit of a steep ask. I kind of think a lot of people, once the novelty wears off, it'll end up just getting put in the cupboard and forgotten about. But ultimately, if you keep it in good condition, it's probably going to be something that's quite collectible and worth a fair bit of money in the long run. I would imagine, if this is successful, Nintendo's going to do similar things like that later on down the track. I think my kids would really enjoy playing with it, and it's definitely worth at the price of admission. I feel $150 a bit steep, but ultimately it depends what it's worth to you. That's it for today. I'm going to sign off. Thanks for joining me.